welcome to the TTiepod, a place where we take off the ties and we'll give you some tea if you are inclined. A space where we make it a little bit relaxing for you to give us more information about yourself, about culture, about business, about art, and give more insight into what really happens in Africa as a continent and beyond. So join us in this first episode of the TTiepod or TTiepod. And I'm here with our guests, special guests today, Hélio and Lauretta. So we're going to go to them now. So welcome, guys, to the TTiepod. The TTiepod. As you know, this is the first episode. Of course, you guys are our co-hosts within TTiepod. But before we get into our episodes, just want to learn more about yourselves. What interested you about coming on board into the TTiepod? So we're going to start, of course, first of all with.
I mean, well, beautiful. You guys were gonna say ladies.
Let's go ladies first. We go.
Chivalry is dead.
Chivalry's dead.
We still got the man.
You know, I was gonna say let's go by age, but I don't want to reveal people's age. But
one day
we'll get there.
We're very young.
So first,
I'm glad you put that.
So first and foremost, let's hear a little bit more about Lauretta Giraldo. I don't know if I'm saying Lauretta correctly because I know there's a Portugueseness to the name, but I'm going to give the Britishness to it or the Englishness to it.
Right.
But please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Right. I mean, it's Lauretta Giraldo. Giraldo.
Okay.
But that's only because like my whole life I've been called like Loretta.
Okay.
Not my name. Like, you know?
Loretta.
But it's such a long name and always having to explain myself kind of was just like tedious for me, so I never did it.
Okay.
And then having a nickname also just I don't feel like I have a nickname that I resonate with. Like some people are now calling me Lori. It's cute, but it's not like it's like I have to grow into it.
Okay.
And so yeah, Lauretta, now that I'm in Angola, Portuguese speaking country, I want to embrace that a little bit more.
Okay.
But you can say the British pronunciation.
Okay. Welcome, Lauretta. Welcome to Lauretta. So one thing is definitely obvious is your accent. Right. You have an American twang to your accent. So just, where did you grow up in terms of your young age, in terms of career-wise as well? Just give us a little bit more about that.
So first thing, I'm still young.
Okay. Okay.
I did my college in the US, which is funny because when I was out there, my school teachers were always like, like, where's your accent from? Like, they never, they thought I was Australian sometimes.
Oh, wow.
They never picked up that I was a foreigner. Yeah, and so it was like a surprise when I told them. And I was like, well, I'm not from here. But anyways, I grew up in most of Southern Africa. I say most because it's like, I grew up in 3 countries in Southern Africa.
You were born in Angola?
Yeah, in Angola.
Okay, you were born in Angola. Okay.
But I was like born in Angola, but my family was living in Botswana.
Okay.
So I lived there till I was 3.
Okay.
And then I moved back to Angola, which people don't know.
Okay.
So I'm so proud of that.
When you were 3, right?
Yeah, so I came back home from like 4 to 7. I was in the southern part, which is where I'm natively from, between Lubango and Wambo. And then I went to Namibia, spent the bulk of my life there. So from 7 to 16. Then I went to South Africa, Cape Town. Then I came back here for a year, went back to South Africa, and then I went to the US. And now here I am.
Okay, so well-rounded.
Yeah.
You've been around the continent, especially within SADC and stuff, right? Yeah. So it opens up your mind to a different reality at times. But so how's your Portuguese?
It's improving.
It's improving.
It's getting better, I hope.
But why do I hear that all the time? Like I hear that from people that have even born and raised here, and they were always correcting themselves in Portuguese. And
it's a complex language. Because Portuguese, especially when it comes to the case of Angola, because we didn't eradicate the Portuguese.
Eradicate.
Yeah, it's like
it's interesting.
It's, his subconscious is speaking now. Like exactly, I want to get rid of.
I don't see. But yeah, our Portuguese, we didn't sign the agreement for the new Portuguese law. How do you say it? Should be the autograph.
Yeah, because the Brazilian Portuguese and
It's from the one that
Portuguese
Are
or
different.
Portugal Portuguese.
in the writing, they are now aligned. The speaking is
Okay.
distant, but yeah, it has to come with a lot of cultural aspect of it.
Okay.
But the rules of Portuguese now, they should follow the same pattern. But we didn't sign up for that yet.
Okay.
So that's why there's still this understanding of wording, etc.
Okay. Yeah, like for example, invoices in English, but in Portuguese is fatura. And I see some people put it with a C, and some people take the C out. And sometimes I'm like, which one is which? Like I'm trying to understand which one is which. So it's I understand that complexity of the language. Okay, all right.
The C is a problem.
The C.
Yeah, it was like a few years ago. They said they were dropping the C, but then some people were like, "Oh no, it's acceptable in Angola. We're using the C still." Yeah,
But then that's interesting. So how does like a business person come and deal with all that? We're going to come to that, but let's just shift that a bit now and just come to you, Mr. Hélio. Hélio.
Should we say
Albert?
But there's a D somewhere.
This was
Desculpa. Sorry. Desculpa for you guys is sorry. Anyway. So Hélio de Jesus Alves.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thanks.
As I said before. Your accent as well is I've got two Americans here. Your accent has that American twang to it as well. So please, just give us a little bit.
Well, that's because published in the States.
Okay.
My university there, starting, got my bachelor's degree in marketing in the States. But again, I feel like English is something that I'm still learning.
okay?
The opposite of Portuguese.
Okay.
So second language, but I can say that it is my working language. It's the language.
When did you start learning English?
I guess I was 18 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah. At 18 years old, I had to spend 9 months in English school before going to college.
Okay, that was here or
There in
okay? So you were immersed into the culture. Okay.
into the culture, the language, kind of the environment taught me a lot.
Okay.
Be fast and kind of get going, because once I finished the course of English, I had to start classes in college.
Okay.
So they get me started. But thank God, and luckily enough, when I returned back to Angola, one of the positions that I got in my job was to promote Angola outside into the world, which meant that gave me an opportunity to continue to speak English.
Okay.
And so I'll do promotion about Angola in English.
In English, all right.
So that's how I see that the language with me, and which I really much praise for the simplicity, objectivity of the language. And again, it's the business language.
True. That's true. It's very, very true. And I think that's what brings us to, the whole idea behind the TTiepod, right? The whole idea is to open up Angola to the rest of the world. I've been back and forth since 2012, and I've always had this issue with language, right? Because the business world is English.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, English is there, right? We're not talking about, okay, let's recolonize Angola or whatever. Was okay, for Angola to play in a wider space, English is key. We look at the examples of Mozambique, right? Mozambique, they decided to put English as second language. Rwanda used to be French, and then they changed to English. All of a sudden, things have opened up. And for me, being here back and forth in various countries across Africa and also in Europe, is like, okay, what's missing in Angola? In July or June, we're part of a conference, which was the UK and Angola conference. And being in there and listening to, the Ministry of Tourism talking, you had Apex, and then everybody's talking like, okay, we want to do this, we want to do that, infrastructure and that. And something that just kept on coming to my head is, how do you do this when language is still a barrier there? So what do you guys think about that?
I mean, first of all, I think that Angola didn't really establish a second language.
Yeah.
I feel like we just have one language in this country, which is Portuguese. All the other languages, like people decide whether they want to pick them up or not.
Mhm.
So when you do look at like other nationalities and other bordering countries, they have a fundamental established role where like, this is our second language, this is our first language.
Mhm.
And the level of seriousness, like academically applied to the second language is it's more rigorous
Yeah.
than you would here. And I say this because of moving around so much, I got to experience like schools in different places. And I feel like when I came here, the school system didn't really prioritize the second language. So kids either had to like pick it up on their own, out of their own interest, but nobody really fundamentally comes out of school knowing how to speak more than one language, you know?
Okay.
It's like everybody's in the working class, and that's when they pick up on like a course on how to speak something else different, which is typically English. But like, you know, French is also a good one to pick up on. So that could really open us up. But I feel like you're right. What does close us off as a nation is this like language barrier. Like English is the global and universal language. So there's more information just in general in the world available in English.
That's true. Because even when we're looking at the whole movement, the AI movement, you know, programming and stuff.
Yeah.
To be honest, when it comes to programming, it's English. Like,
Yeah.
how do you program without having that basics in there?
Whoever creates will create in the language of the creator.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like we are going through a new economic revolution, right? And you mentioned very well about AI. So all the tools, all the techniques, all the language, so it's in English. Yeah. So again, as the economy goes to that direction and the Western world becomes the creator of such tools or techniques of the new working environment. So the more we need to feel the sense of urgency to apply in the English language into our own, like as you mentioned, this perhaps secondary language, at least of to do business or to do work.
Yeah.
In order to, so actually it goes beyond generations. We're not talking about the present. We're talking also about the future. How our kids will be able to compete with other kids in Africa and abroad. Language. So that language, the English is a tool. It's a tool that we do need.
It's interesting that you've said that, because I know with another conference that took place, was the USA and Africa conference. You know, that was an interesting one, because a lot of people came from states and they came to Angola, but then a lot of African nations were also within the country, and they really came in as like, wow, Angola this is Angola. It's like, wow, we didn't expect things to be like this. And it was really interesting to see that. But one of the things everybody complained about, though, but language, how do you do language? If I want to leave Luanda and I want to go out, how do I deal with the whole language thing? So that is something I think it's key in what we're doing right now. But let's just have a brief pause. We're going to go on a brief break. Massive thanks to OB Studios that has given us the opportunity to use this space in order to record our podcast at TTiepod. Without OB Studios, we wouldn't be able to do this. So once again, thanks.